Yes, I am of the mind that it's true, only because where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't have a relationship with Chuck, and Tito certainly would not take my call. So I didn't really have anyone else I could go to, so I went to Oscar. And I didn't even get a hold of him. I had to go through his rep. It's like it just didn't match up. So I don't have any great insight for you. I want to disclose that for our audience, but I will share my opinion. Yes, I think it's true. I also love it. I love it from this regard. Does that fight do something? Yeah, there's something there. That's where it ends. But there's something there if it's promoted just right. And sure, there's an audience for that. I got no problem with that. Part I liked about it was that Dana said, I'm getting into boxing. So now you got a boxing guy saying, oh, yeah, well, I'm getting into MMA. And how serious Oscar is about it, I don't know. I think if he was more serious about it, that is not the fight that he would turn to. And whoever advised him, and Oscar does have deep pockets, and those guys aren't going to walk out there cheap. So if I did have that budget of a few $1 million to put a main event together for my first ever foray into this, if he had better advice, he would not have gone with that fight. So that's not a wonderful sign right out of the gate for Oscar. But I do like the competitiveness in him. I like the gamesmanship of saying, oh, yeah, Dana, you're going to get in my business. Well, then I'm going to get into yours. I do like that side of it because that keeps things fun. The narrative on Dana has always been fascinating for me from the boxing guys, Bob Arum and Oscar, kind of at the forefront of that. Don King didn't speak up so much. But saying he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to boxing. Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. He could never make it in this business. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, why should he know? He's only done it once. He's only got one match of experience. Oh, and by the way, that happened to be the biggest fight of all time. So the guy that doesn't know what he's doing
against two guys who would never sell in any other circumstance.
No one else could make it work. So the guy that doesn't know what he's doing also gets the plaque for most successful boxing promoter in the history of time. But I will agree with you, he does not know. So isn't that exciting? Once he gets this all figured out. I mean, I thought that part was a little... And then when you are coming from the gamesmanship standpoint of, hey, you're going to stick it in my ass, well, then I'm going to stick it in yours, and you grab a fight that's already been done not once but twice, is not in a high demand, was passed over by Dana, was passed over by Scott Coker, and now you're using it as your marquee, it would only tell me that the advice that he's getting is not great advice. You have to start somewhere, so if you're Oscar, let's go ahead and get started, but we're then confronted with the piece of evidence that he took two guys that have big price tags on them, whether they're worth it or not. They do have big price tags. I could tell you the number that Chuck's turned down. So I know what his price tag is. And if Oscar's willing to match it, then Oscar, well, it does appear that he's just going to get started, so you're going to go start with Chuck and Tito. That's what it would appear, but I'm sharing with you that is not the case. He's rolling out the red carpet, and he's going to get the best bang for his buck, at least in theory. That's why I'm telling you he's getting bad advice. The number that he's going to have to put together for these guys in conjunction with what I could have brought him by suggestion for that same number. No, this is not a foray to get his feet wet. He's trying to come in with a big splash. He got bad advice.